The high is hard to describe because I don't entirely remember it. There's that movie, that Scottish movie that I thought did a pretty good job. What is it, Train Spotting? There's this, have you seen it, right? It's the scene where the guy shoots up and sort of like falls backwards into, I think if I recall correctly, he was on a, just fell on the floor, like sort of laid back on the floor, was on a rug and everything, and the ground just sort of dropped in, if I remember correctly. It felt like that, but also I remember like if it's really cold outside, and you know you're just cold, like you're not shivering cold, but you're just cold, and you spent all day outside in like a really shitty cold day, and it's kind of like wet, and you're just not comfortable. And you know sometimes when you get into the shower after a day like that, or a bath or something like that, and you can feel your body warm up slowly, but you really feel the heat transfer. Reminded me sort of that as well. Neither of which I think are incredibly accurate depictions of what it's like to be high on it. But it's different too. It depends on how you take it. If you shoot up, it's very different. It's dopey, itchy. That's what I like the best. Is the sort of itchy. You know, you sort of start to feel it coming out. Not if you shoot, but if you smoke it, or not smoke it. If you snort it, you sort of you just start itching and rubbing your face, and then you know it's close to getting high then, and that's good. That was always a good feeling. There's almost this weird anticipation of getting kind of blottoed out of your mind. But it's very, very difficult to describe. Every now and again there's like a song that you'd hear, or something that the way the song sounds, the way the music moves. Again, I think it sounds a bit cheesy, but it's just there's certain things that you think of that sort of remind you what it's like. It has a dopey sort of feel. And you almost want to say, well, this sounds like what it feels like to do, or something. It's very, very hard to describe the high of it, though. Because I don't ever, people say it's euphoric. I don't know. I don't ever remember it being terribly euphoric. I just remember it being, I don't remember like being numb in the sense of like, when an arm falls asleep or your leg falls asleep. I don't necessarily remember that. I just remember being dopey and kind of warm and not caring a whole hell of a lot about what's going on around you. Sort of in your own head. Not a very social drug. But it's not terribly psychedelic. It's not at all psychedelic. So it's not like when you're in your own head, you're sort of, not like acid or anything like that. It's not even that you're necessarily thinking about anything. You're just there. You know what I mean? Blobby.